Drew, very good to see you. This video is for all of our wonderful federal employees who are looking to retire. We are creating a special series of videos for those employees who are getting ready to retire. Of course, they have a lot on their minds right now, so we're going to lay out in detail all the steps they need to take. And this brings me to the point, which is this is what you specialize in, Drew, and I can only imagine what these federal employees are going through right now.
Yeah, it's a crazy time right now, and things are changing weekly, daily, so there's a lot to keep up with.
Mm-hmm. So let's start with step number 1, which should be completed by every employee as soon as possible, no matter where you are on your retirement journey. They need to fill out a very specific form. Tell us about that and why it's the first step, please.
So the form you need to fill out is from OPM, and you can go on their website and get it. It's the Certified Summary of Service. So you go on there and you want to fill out pages 9 and 10 only. It'll look like like your full retirement packet, but you just fill out those pages. That way you can get some of your specific numbers about retirement for you.
Mm-hmm. And what if this form is not correct?
So the reason why you want to do this is because if it's not correct, it can take a very long time to change some of these things. So time is your friend. So the sooner you start it, the better. And then that makes sure that it gets fixed by the time that you actually retire.
Right. And just to remind everybody watching that you do have a tab on your website dedicated to all this information so that people can kind of digest it at their own pace.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a tab specially dedicated just to federal employees where you can get information on there. You could ask us some questions and we can help you along the way as well.
All right, perfect. So now let's talk about what I think a lot of people are wondering about, which is what will determine if people are fully eligible to retire? How does this all break down?
So the big things to remember at first is that you need to be 60 years old with 20 years of service, or 62 years old with 5 years of service. Those are the big milestones to make sure that you're fully eligible for retirement.
Mm-hmm. And how is this different for first responders?
So first responders, depending on what area you're a part of, it changes. They actually have lower requirements. I would definitely recommend to see a specialist when figuring this out because each department is very specific on how the numbers change.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of changing numbers, what if I meet the age but not the years required for full eligibility?
So that's where the MRA part of this slide comes into play. MRA stands for your minimum retirement age. And as you can see, depending on your date of birth, that determines what age is your MRA. And then if you have your MRA and 30 years of service, you're also fully eligible to retire.
And Drew, what if they meet the years but not the age?
So that is where a lot of you have probably heard the phrase MRA plus 10. So what that stands for is your minimum retirement age, which we have in the chart here. And then as long as you have 10 years of service, you can still retire with your benefits. However, your pension will take a reduction based off of how many years you retire. Now, remember, just because you could retire with MRA plus 10, it might not be the best idea for you.
Okay. And because the government loves their acronyms so much, can you please explain VERA and VSIP for us, please?
Yes. So these are two things that you're going to hear a lot right now. I know a lot of different departments are mentioning them. Basically, your VERA is your option to retire at a younger age. So the requirements go to 50 years old with 20 years of service, or any age with 25 years of service. Now, a lot of times they will offer the VERA and the VSIP together. The big thing with the VSIP is that's the buyout, where you hear people talking about, are they going to give us a buyout? That's the VSIP. And it can be up to $25,000, but depending on what they decide for your department, it could vary.
Mm-hmm. And why not just do all of this through human resources?
So one of the big things right now is human resources is very bombarded, as I'm sure many federal employees know. It was slow enough to get an answer from HR before. It's going to be even slower now. And HR, they're kind of not necessarily your advocate. They're just trying to answer a question and move on to where they're not going to look at your specific situation and give you some better specific numbers for what you need.
Yeah, good point. All right, one more question for you. I think a lot of people are curious about a phased retirement. What do they need to keep in mind?
So with a phased retirement, you might not see those as much right now because of all the reduction in force that is trying to happen right now. But a phased retirement is basically where you have a position that you're wanting to retire, but they can't replace you because nobody knows how to do what you do. So they might have someone come in that you have to mentor. So they will adjust and they will kind of make like a contract of, you would work this percentage and we will give you this percentage of your pension. And then they would slowly phase you into full retirement then.
I see. Okay. Well, this is, again, a lot of information. I can only imagine what it's like right now to be a federal employee. So just to remind people, where can they go if they have questions or would like to reach out with you?
Yeah, feel free to go to our website to help look at some extra information that we have, or reach out to us on there and we can schedule a time to meet and talk specific numbers. We even have a chance to do a federal benefits report to help give you some specific numbers about retirement.
All right. Well, Drew, thanks again for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Erin.